What's going on, people up in the YouTube land? I wanna go on ahead and conversate on a couple of different things. As far as I'm gonna jump straight into it. All right, as y'all know, of course, y'all heard that we got the recession coming up. You know what I mean? So here's a few tips where I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to do for those who are trying to make sure that inflation don't curve them under. Um, I got a lot flowing through my head, so I'm just getting each thought together. First, I want to say this. If you're going to beat out inflation, do not keep a certain amount of money in the banks to go ahead and pay your bills if you got your bills and stuff automatically set up, your mortgage and all of that other stuff. Go ahead and make sure that you do that. Make sure that you keep about $5,000 or $6,000 in the bank. If you have a multitude of accounts, all right, a multitude of accounts. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, majority put your money into your insurance policy. All right, keep your money there. They're not really talking about what people could do. You know what I'm saying, to defend themselves at this time once when this recession hit. You know, they planning on crashing the market or whatever. So every 6 years you have a market crash. I'm letting y'all know now. Take at least 30% of your monies and put that shit. If you have an insurance policy, a permanent insurance policy, store your money into the insurance policy. And the reason why I say that is that you could leverage if you need to borrow anything against the insurance policy. Don't take the money out of the policy, all right? You gonna get when you put enough cash in there, right? If you need to use that money over and over again, you're gonna get this shit called a policy loan, where they give you a loan, not to take the money out because you'll interrupt the compounding effect. All right, you want that cash value to stay where it's at, but you want to get a loan against it. All right, and then you pay yourself back the interest. So if you put $15,000 in, you know what I'm saying, 1 year, you can borrow against yourself. All right, up to that amount. I would leave 2,000 in there. So if you put 15 in there, I would take out like 10. You understand what I'm saying? And then you can finance whatever you need to finance, and then you can pay that 10 back to do that shit all over again. But you can pay back the interest. Of course, they're gonna charge you interest on that. It's your policy. If it's a permanent policy, you are gonna use that policy throughout your life, but you can finance things with this policy. Now, I will say this, depending on how you design the policy. All right. If you design a policy where it starts paying interest, you know what I'm saying, as soon as the cash value start building that same year. If you design a policy where the cash value starts building that same exact year, then put as much money in there as you can spare. All right. Preferably I'd do like $600 a month. Okay. But I will say this. It also helps deal with inflation. So your purchasing power will always remain the same all the way around. All right. You won't have nothing to worry about. Not saying not to deal with banks. Keep about $5,000 to $6,000 in your banking accounts. Make sure that you have your savings account. Make sure that you have your emergency fund. Your emergency funds, you should have a small one for the house, at least $2,500 for the house in cash. That's just to deal with any other problem, or if a family member need money or something like that, etc., etc. But $2,500 in cash at the house. Your emergency fund should be 3 to 6 months of whatever your salary is that you get paid yearly. So if you make 32, you need to have at least 11. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving that example. You need to have $11,000 in your emergency fund. And that emergency fund should be within a savings account. All right? A savings account that you ain't touching or whatever. Get it to $11,000 and then stop it right there. Stop it at these whole numbers. So that way that you can work on building another account. When you do that, you done built these different walls of protection for yourself. All right? I say this again. You done built these different walls of protection for yourself. Since we got inflation and a recession is going to come, and they said that it's going to be worse, you know what I'm saying, than Reagan era. So everybody going to feel it all the way down to the goddamn rats, the dogs, dog food. You know what I'm saying? So if that's coming, you see that they cutting jobs. A lot of these big corporations is cutting people back. The best thing to do, like I said, if you looked at any of the other videos, make sure that you do inventory for your house. Make sure you check your food supply. All right? You check your food supply. Itemize and count everything inside the house. You understand what I'm saying? Put all the rest of the money into paying your mortgage and your rent. Secure all your basic necessities. All right? You make sure that you set up some type of formation. And I'm going to say this again. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, that your formation is mapped out. All right? Make sure that your formation is mapped out. Y'all see this? Y'all asses ain't too motherfucking old, you know what I'm saying, to actually start mapping shit out. All right? I do inventory every motherfucking week. You should be doing inventory every week. All right? This is how you survive through shit. The main thing is to make sure that that your money is morally protecting you. All right. So any type of bills that you need to pay, or any other thing that you need to do, make sure that you pay those up. Don't sit on nothing. Don't save anything, because you already got your savings accounts. After you build up your financial engine and your savings accounts and everything else like that, you should just be doing nothing but investing your money. All right. And all because the market may go down. If you are involved in the stock market, the market may go down. What goes down always eventually come back up. So y'all can wait for all the suckers to duck and dash and get scared and all that other bullshit. Just sit tight and bubble slow. And what I mean by that is still making investments. Don't be so aggressive with it, but still be passive, but be consistent. So do the water drip shit, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you investing, you know what I mean, real heavy every month, cut back. You know what I'm saying? And do fractionary share buying. That means you could buy fractions of a share slowly. All right. And you could do that for the next 5 to 6 years until the market, starts to go back up. You know what I'm saying? On the incline. So all I'm saying is that's how y'all should be moving while we finna get ready to go through this. Set your system up. Pay all your bills up. Pay yourself. You can still pay yourself or whatever. But make sure that you have these joints in place. So you got car notes and all that other shit that got to be paid every month. Like I said, make sure that you keep about $5,000 to $6,000 in the bank. All right, that's one. Two, make sure you already got your savings intact. You need to have 2 savings accounts, 2 of them. One, you got about $2,500 in cash, which I'm going to repeat again. 2, you have about 3 to 6 months of expenses in your house, which is half of what you make yearly. All right. Number 4, make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you still make your investments and do whatever it is that you're going to do. And number 5, make sure that at least 50% of whatever it is that you make goes into your permanent life insurance policy. Use your life insurance policy to make sure that you store your money there. That's where it's going to be safe at. All right. They're not talking about this shit. They're not saying nothing about this shit, but make sure that you store it in your life insurance policy. All right. Make sure that you do that. I don't know how many y'all got or whatever, but if you have 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you store your money right there. If you store majority of your money right there, you control the banking system of your household. All right, you should be good. If you stuff about maybe 50, 60,000 in there, that's 50, 60,000, you know what I'm saying, that you can go back later on and finance, just in case if you lose your job or whatever. You are the determinant asset of yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you put policies out on yourself, if anything was to happen. They also got a Paycheck Plus, where if you do lose your job or whatever, you can open up a Paycheck Plus policy where you pay a certain amount. It can be added on as a rider with your original policy, where you can go on ahead and You can go in here, and if you lose your job or if anything was to happen or whatever, right, they pay you out for 6 months, maybe $2,000 to $3,000. All right. It's called a paycheck plus. It's called it's called the extra rider for that. You ask these companies with that. If anything was to happen, if I was to lose my job or whatever, you know what I'm saying, can I pay an extra, on top of, et cetera, to make sure that I have my that I have monies for when if I lose my job. You had that secure right there. So you always want to keep a backup plan. This is why you pay your monthly premiums. Pay your fucking premiums. I tell y'all niggas, pay your premiums, pay your mortgages, all right? As long as you do that, you pretty much well good. You know how many hours that you need to work and everything else. All right? Keep count of everything. Make sure you monitor everything. Do not be lazy. Don't have your shit all over the place. All right? Make sure that y'all motherfuckers keep ledgers. All right? Old school, I'm an old school hustler, but we wrote every motherfucking thing down in a ledger book, you know what I'm saying? And we kept everything up here organized. So we built and create systems, you know what I'm saying, as far as, how to deal with money and how to keep the cash within the circle, all right? If you set this shit up like this, the money will stay in the house. It won't leave the house. And if it do leave the house, it'll be 2 or 3 years from now. It's more other things that I got to explain. I ain't got that much time. But as far as with these fucking phones, I'm already up 11 minutes already. But look, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. This is Lee Majors, you know what I'm saying, Head Commander-in-Chief and General Urban Special Forces. I'm out. Peace.